I'm Firefighter Paramedic Steve Whitehead, and this is Station Saturday. There is a lot to love about Station 39, but the first thing is the location. Take a look. South Metro Station 39 was built in 1997, and it was actually originally built as Castlewood Fire Station 9. When this building was first constructed, it was built to be part of Castle Pines Emergency Services. So they shared this building with us until a little less than 2 decades ago when they moved to their own building farther south on Happy Canyon Road. So now this is all ours. And when Castlewood Fire changed their name to South Metro Fire, this station became South Metro Fire Station 39. So welcome to our station. Come on inside. So much stuff to show you. Something that's a little bit unique about Station 39 or different from a lot of the other stations is one of the very first things you encounter is the officer's bedroom. They're just inside the front door. So this over here is where our officer sleeps. They've also got a bathroom in here. They've got a shower that they can use and be kind of in a separate place from the crew. And their office is just across the way. So if you come to our station after hours, you're likely going to encounter the station officer as the very first person that you see. Inside the officer's office, this is where our officers pretend to do a lot of work after each call. Obviously, they got to do their paperwork. They got to take their morning meetings and their phone calls in here. So this is kind of their place. A little bit of our battery banks are also in here. Our public restrooms, as well as our supply closet, are just here inside the front door. So when folks stop by and say, hey, could I use a restroom? We have these for them. And then our station supplies, as well as our medical resupply, are in this closet just inside here. You've probably seen this before if you watched other Station Saturday videos. We all have this map of the district. They're really helpful. If somebody drops by and they want directions, we can bring them on in. If we're going to an area that's far away in our district and maybe we're not familiar with it, we can take a pause on our way to the bay, kind of orient ourselves to that region. Now, Station 39, we're down here, right? So we are the southernmost station of all of the South Metro stations. What that means is not only do we respond primarily in the Castle Pines Village, but we also respond to the unhydrated areas on the other side of the freeway. We also give a lot of support to our fire department neighbors here. So Castle Rock, Jackson 105, and West Douglas for sure. We run with them quite a bit. West Douglas, because they have a very large district and they're primarily volunteer, we're able to give them a lot of support. And for us, on Engine 39, it allows us to do a lot of things that are very unique to the South Metro Fire experience. We can go all the way up into the Pike National Forest, fight wildland fires up there. We can end up doing extensive carryout operations on ATVers or motorcyclers up in the Rampart Range area. So it allows us to experience some really interesting calls. This is our crew office over here. So the officers have their office, and this is where we do a lot of our fire-based computer training that we do. We typically have some target solutions type trainings that we have to get on the computer and do and keep up on. And we also have our own reports to write. So when we're using computers, we're using them in here. And something that's a little different with us at Station 39 and the Wildland stations is that we pay a lot of attention to the weather. The weather is very important to us in our wildland firefighting operations. So the winds, the temperature outside, the overnight RH, things of that nature are really important to us, and we really keep track of the weather around our state. We also keep track of incidents that are occurring in our state and in other states that border on us, because we not only respond within our district, but sometimes we respond for extended periods of time to wildland incidents all over the western United States. Let's take a look at our kitchen and our living area. You've seen some stations, again, if you've watched other videos, that have very large living areas and large kitchens with islands in the center. We do not have that. We have a smaller crew here. We're 4 people out of Station 39, so our kitchen reflects that. It's a little bit smaller. And we're not like Station 38 where they've got that full-time barista working for them and doing their coffee. We have to make our own coffee here. But we do have a lot of varieties, right? We can Keurig, we can kettle, we can pour over, we can AeroPress, we can do some percolator. I can do a French press for you. We can the fresh grounds. And I'm sorry, when you came into our station, I should have asked you, do you want any coffee? I can do a lot of, you're good? Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize I didn't ask right at the front door, but you're welcome to have some coffee while you're here. Our living area, during the day, we do trainings in our living area. In the evenings, this is where we watch movies or sports. You've heard, I know some of our crews, they eat off of TV trays in the living room. Some crews like to eat in the dining area. We're kind of a half and half crew here. Sometimes we're in the dining area. If there's no sports or not an interesting movie that we're really interested in watching, we'll be in here. But if the Broncos or the Avs are playing, we're typically on TV trays out here in the living room. This is a memorial Pulaski from the Twist River Fire. The Twist Fire happened in August of 2015, and some of our crews were on it. During that fire, our crews, as well as some other departments, had an entrapment incident, and during their own self-rescue, they ended up in a situation where they were able to assist and rescue another crew member. Unfortunately, that other crew lost 3 of their members during that fire. In fact, we did a video about it, and if you want to watch a little bit more about that incident and why it's so meaningful to us here at South Metro, we'll put a link down below in the video so you can watch that. But for us, especially in our wildland stations, we'll have the Memorial Pulaski because it reminds us, one, it reminds us of the sacrifices that other department made. It reminds us how lucky we are that all of our members came back home. And it also reminds us to train hard to make sure that we go home at the end of the day. This is also important to us in this station. Back in 2017, they did a movie called Only the Brave, and that was about the Granite Mountain hotshots and a tragedy that they experienced. And the Broncos got a hold of an early copy of that, and they were able to do an early screening. So they invited wildland firefighters from all around the Front Range to come to the Dove Valley Training Center. And we brought with us one of our wildland shirts, and the whole team signed it. So the quarterback at the time was Trevor Simeon, future Hall of Famer Von Miller. We got his signature up there. It was really nice of the guys to invite us to their training center and to watch that movie with us. So if you've watched any of the other stations, you've seen that almost every station has some wall or walls where they have these great photos of us on fires doing what we do. But one of the things I haven't heard us talk about is the fact that the reason we have all those great photos is because we have a great PIO group. And that group shows up on just about every major incident that we have. And they take some amazing photos that are meaningful to us because we get to show our families what we do, and we also get to decorate our stations with those photos. And we're no different. We definitely have those photos as well. We were just looking at one of our favorite episodes of Fleet Friday, and this is the one where our engineer Brock Backus talked about our brand new tender, which is a great apparatus, and I will show it to you just a little bit later. Let me show you the Wildland Cash first, though. For our firefighters, we all buy our own food for each shift, so we'll go to the store.
Agent,
gotta go.
fire alarm response.
What we know is this is a fire alarm. It sounds like it's a fire alarm in a commercial area. There are people on site talking with 911 right now, and they're saying that they don't see any sign of fire. But we never know. A fire alarm can go off because there's fire inside the walls, there's fire inside the attic. It may be somewhere that isn't obvious. So we're going to still go in knowing that there may be active fire in that area, just confirm that this is a false alarm. What we're doing right now is they're inside looking for smoke and signs of fire, and we're going around the outside of the building and just getting eyes on all sides of it to make sure that there is nothing that they're missing inside that they would want to know about. This ultimately turned out to be a false alarm. Okay, so I think when we left off, I was about to tell you about the food closet. So what the food closet is for each one of our crews, we always do our shopping that day of our shift, or for the next 2 days, we'll do our own shopping. But we also realize that creates a lot of waste if everybody's always buying ketchup and mustard and dry rubs for the grill and stuff like that. So we also have a station fund where we buy a lot of those food items that all of the stations are going to use. So that's a pooled fund of money from the employees that we draw from to buy those supplies, and then we don't have to waste them or have them go to waste because we have 3 or 4 ketchups in every refrigerator. At Station 39, we also maintain the Wildland Cash. So the Wildland Cash is all of the Wildland PPE, which is stored in this room. So our packs and our helmets and the things that we carry on our body, the things that protect us during a wildfire, those are kept in this room. And they're also issued out from here to our Wildland team. Our Wildland team isn't just here in this station, but in other stations, if they need a new pair of Wildland pants or boots or something like that, they'll email us here and we'll get that equipment out to them. That also goes for the equipment that goes on the apparatus. So for our Wildland apparatus, this is the cache where we maintain that type of equipment. So the hose appliances and specialized Wildland gear and equipment. If somebody needs, a new something or another for their Type 3 brush truck or their Type 6 brush truck, they're gonna send that request to us here and we can fill it. Or they'll come right by the station and they'll pick it up from here. Now, if crews need equipment, we want them to take that equipment from this room. We don't want a heavy, laborious process, but crews are supposed to sign out everything that they take from this. People get in a hurry and sometimes they don't do that, and that's why we chose Johnny Cash to be the person to watch over the Wildland Cash. It's harder to do the wrong thing when you know the man in black is watching. Our workout room, again, just like other things in the station, it's smaller than some of the other crews, but it's big enough for us for sure. In the fire service, we're big on functional fitness, on doing workouts that instead of them being a fixed set of movements, that they mimic the actual work that we do when we're out there either fighting a structural fire or wildland fire or something of that nature. So we try to move real things through real space and real time as part of our workout routine. One of my favorite areas of the station, again, I always appreciate the outsides at this station, just coming outside, right? And I think we have a great spot out here where we do some of our if we want to come out and just play some cornhole, or if we just want to do a workout where we row outside or do some lifting or work with some kettlebells. This is a beautiful area out here for us to do that. It's probably a good time to go out in the bay, right? And show you some of the apparatus that we've got out there. Out in our apparatus bay, we have 4 apparatus that run out of this station here. And this one is very similar to something that you've seen in a lot of our other videos. This is just our classic Type 1 structural engine. An engine 39 is what we roll out on most of our responses, all of our medical responses, our structural firefighting responses, things of that nature. But we also have a specialty unit that's dear to us, and that's our Type 3 brush engine. This is brush engine 39. Brush engine 39 is one of the first 2 rigs to respond out of district to all around the West, and it can end up anywhere in the United States during wildfire season. So our crews can deploy out of this rig and go to California, up to Washington, down to Texas. So we have crews that are not on duty at the station and their name is on a deployment list. So let's say our station commander, Brad Lingle, is on the list with some other firefighters. And at the national level, they call for a Type 3 brush engine. Those people can come into the station, jump on this rig, and they can head out and be gone for 2 and as much as 3 weeks. And if they trade off with another crew, this engine may roll out of here and we may not see it for weeks or months during that high fire season. And while it's gone, there's a backup brush engine that comes in here, and the crew that's working out of here operates off of that brush engine. I don't know if you've seen, there's a very funny comedy routine out there about the fire SUV. It's a thing, right? And we happen to have a fire SUV, if you will, that runs out of this station. The reason we have this apparatus is because sometimes on wildland deployments, while some of our command staff, they can use this in district for larger incidents to respond individually. When we respond nationally, we don't always respond as a crew. Sometimes we respond as a single resource. We could respond as a division supervisor or a dozer boss or a heli-tac base person. We could respond as a communications specialist. And if you're responding as just a single person, you can come into the station, grab the gear that you need, put it on this apparatus, and you can go out on your own and be a part of that incident as an individual resource. Another thing that we keep stored here is our progressive hose lay pack. So up here, you see about 20 black backpacks up there, and those are our backups. Those are our spares. On every wildland rig and a lot of our frontline fire engines, we have progressive hose lay packs. And what those are is we need to be able to fight fire anywhere that it might occur, right? So on city streets, we're in a type 1 engine, right? Out there in the wildland space, we're typically in a type 3 or a type 6, a smaller brush engine that's designed to go off-road. But sometimes if there's fire up on a hillside, we may need to actually put hose on our back, hook that hose into our apparatus, and head up a hillside. And what those backpacks do is they connect hose together. So they allow us to go 400, 600, 800 feet away from an apparatus, up a hillside or something like that, and still have water available to us to fight fire when we actually get to that place. You also may see down below here something that's kind of special to us at the station, and that's our pickleball net. We, at least our crew, we try to get one of the 2 days a pickleball game set up. We have a pickleball court taped out here in our bay so we can play right here in our bay. And I'm telling you, we're not playing, your grandma's retirement home kind of pickleball. We're playing ESPN, the Ocho level pickleball right here in our station. We definitely, we go by the 5 Ps of pickleball: pick, poke, punch, parry, and pick. And if you can dodge a Halligan, you can dodge a pickleball. Let me show you our gear room. Our gear room is, well, it's a little bit tight. It's smaller than some of the other gear rooms in the other stations. But 2 things in this room that are important are that we do have an extractor here at our station. Not all stations have them, but we have one here. And we've switched to taking our gear axe and covering them. And both of those things are helpful in cancer prevention. In the fire service, we're trying to get a lot more conscious about fire. We're trying to get more conscious about cancer prevention. We realize that firefighters, especially career firefighters who do this their whole life, have a much higher risk for cancers. And a lot of our firefighters have died from some unusual and atypical type cancers. One of the things that we're doing to try to prevent that is to be much better about washing our gear. So our gear is professionally washed multiple times a year, but after every incident where we're in a fire and we're picking up on that carbon and those carcinogens, when we get back to the station, we put our gear in this specialized extractor. It has a specialized fire soap system that's designed to wash that gear and get those carcinogens out of the gear. And the covers on our lockers, that's just to keep those carcinogens from gathering up on our gear while it's being stored. There's one more apparatus that I didn't get a chance to show you because AJ's out front checking it out, but let's take a look at our tender. I mentioned that we have 4 apparatus, and that back corner usually has tender 39. Tender 39 is important to our district because we don't always have hydrants available to us when we get to the seat of the fire, right? A lot of our homes and our neighborhoods, they don't have especially our neighborhood just across the freeway on the other side of Castle Pines, lots of big houses, no fire hydrants. So if we're gonna go fight fire over there, we have to bring our own water with us. Now in our Type 1 engine, we're carrying about 750 gallons of water, but that might not be enough. When we're fighting fire with a typical structural type firefighting hose, that may only last you a couple minutes of firefighting inside. But this girl right here, Tender 39, she carries 3,000 extra gallons of water along with us. So we'll respond in the Type 1 structural engine, and we'll also bring Tender 39 right behind. And we may be able to hook directly up to the fire engine and just use that water directly. But if it looks like we may be there for an extended period of time, we've also got a porta pond. So we can drop this porta pond, we can fill it up with that 3,000 gallons, and Tender 39 can take off and head to the fire hydrant where it can fill up and come back and keep filling up a porta pond over and over again. I gotta tell you, you've probably guessed I really like Station 39, right? But if there's one thing that I could add to this station or change about it, it would be fire pole. I do wish we had a fire pole in this station. A lot of our stations have them. And I think one of the arguments against the fire pole in the firehouse is they feel like it's risky and it can contribute to injuries. But I gotta tell you, 3 of us coming down these stairs at 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a reason that we have rails on both sides. It's not without risk to go downstairs either, but fire pole would have been great. We are also one of those stations where we're fortunate enough to have an individual bedroom and an individual bathroom for every firefighter that works out of the station. And that's nice. It gives you a little bit of privacy, a little bit of place of your own. My bathroom, pretty standard, right over here. And I'm thinking somebody in the comments is gonna say, was that a squatty potty in that firefighter's bathroom? Yes, it was. Unsolicited. This is a little sitting area and reading area that we have up here. A citizen donated many years ago, was nice enough to donate to us a massage chair, one of those appliances. And you know what? It's really nice. Every once in a while, just come up here and turn that on and sit and just kind of tone out or recharge for a little bit. I don't know if you noticed the one in the kitchen, but we do find a lot of elk and antler shed, deer shed, and that's another one of them. That one was, I found it just a couple months ago up on the Hogback in West Metro's district. We were fighting a fire up there in that area of Ken Carl. And jumped out of the rig, and that was laying on the ground. I had just enough time to toss it in the rig when we went out to do some firefighting. This is my bedroom as well. Get our own bedroom here. And like you've seen in other bedrooms, we do have the sound machine, but something that we're trying out here and we think we're gonna get for all the stations is the blackout curtains in our room. Keep in mind that we do this job for 48 hours straight. And we've realized as time has gone on, we've learned to understand how important sleep is. For sure, the best thing about Station 39, right when I started, it was the location, right? And this is a little quiet area out back for us to just come and have a seat underneath the sun, listen to the birds. It's really nice. Out behind this station is like a highway for wildlife going back and forth. There's plenty of footprints out there that go right behind the station. And we see deer, we see elk, there's rabbits. I've been fortunate enough in my 3 years here at the station to see a bear several times. And what we think was either a bobcat or a small mountain lion just right next door to us. So lots of wildlife, and it makes this just a really nice location for our station. One more supply room to show you while we're up here as well. This is a supply area that is, again, unique to a wildland station. So this is where our crews pack and leave their go bags. So the go bags that are in here are packed with everything that a crew member needs for 2 to 3 weeks out away from the station, camping in sometimes austere conditions. So we've got tags on them here so we know whose bag is whose. So let's pick a station for you guys next. We're gonna get you a good one. We will get you, we promise. We'll find you a good one. It's gonna be station. No. Next. Hang on.
Another one.
All right. Your randomly selected station. No. Come on, man.
No.
Okay.
Good one.
All right. Your randomly selected Station 47, yes.
Go get them, boys.
You guys are going to like
next.
Station 47. Go get them.